I think most students are not nearly well well equipped enough to deal with this or negotiate. They feel like it would be rude to negotiate, and they don't recognize that it's simply a suggested retail price that actually many students, if not most, are actually not paying sticker. And if
That's
you're
right.
paying sticker, you're simply supporting all the people who got the discounts, who got the
That's right.
scholarships.
Only about 30 to 35%, maybe right now, students are paying sticker. That varies, of course, quite a bit from institution to institution, but at almost all institutions, except Harvard, Yale, and Stanford, essentially all of the tuition discounts are so-called merit-based. In other words, schools are buying LSAT scores and to a lesser extent GPAs, and the students have now an enormous number of resources available to them in terms of going online and figuring out, what are people paying at these different schools, at sites like law school numbers and things like that, where you can look up, what sort of discounts are people getting given the kind of numbers that they have. And then what you do is you collect a number of offers, and then you play them off against each other for the purposes of driving down the price that that a prospective student has to pay. And remember, when you're applying, you're the buyer. Okay, you're the customer. You're the person who has the money or who can borrow the money, as the case may be. And the institution is the one that has to convince you that it makes sense for you to give them your money. I would hope most people, when they went to buy a car, wouldn't think that it would be rude to try to get the best price possible on the car. They understand that the dealership is trying to sell the car at the highest price and you're trying to buy it at the lowest price. And naturally, that's going to cause potentially a certain amount of friction. And some people are uncomfortable with that. But in the law school context, you can sort of do that, speaking of distance learning, at a distance, right? You don't actually have to go onto the lot and be harangued by a, smooth talking salesman. You can do it by email and by phone call and so forth. And just, as a prospective student, educate yourself as to what people are paying with your particular numbers at that particular schools. You can get that information, and then if those numbers aren't satisfactory to you, well, get yourself some better numbers. And that's where the kind of stuff that you do comes in, right? I mean, an LSAT score is the most valuable thing that you have to sell to a law school. And the great thing, of course, is that unlike your GPA, your LSAT score is not set in stone. You can change it, and it will drive down the price of the law degree that you are considering buying.
Exactly. So to frame it a different way for students, they look at their numbers, their LSAT GPA, they go on Law School Numbers, which is a student submitted data website. You're basically, students input their information, they input their scholarship offers, where they get in, where they get waitlisted and such. And so you can find students with comparable numbers, see what they ended up with, and then use that to inform your ask of law schools, combined with your research on the cost of living in the area, for example.
Right.
And expected cost of attendance, expected loans you would have to take out, your own personal financial situation, and the shopping around. Just like you might call up several dealerships in the area, you apply to several different law schools, and then you can play them against each other. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them, and feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I wish you all the best and take care.